Over the years in Saskatchewan, we've seen great advancements in pulse production, largely through gains in research. Larger crops are being produced each year, and more of that product is being exported than ever before. Over 80% of our pulse production in Saskatchewan is exported, and that means growers need a well-functioning transportation system in order to be competitive going forward. Since 2006, SPG has partnered with grower groups and exporters through our national association, Pulse Canada, to tackle transportation issues for the pulse sector.
I think that Pulse Canada has had a very positive impact simply by changing the way we approach problem solving. Every challenge begins with a mapping exercise where we detail every interaction from the time a sale is made through to the time product hits a vessel. From that point, we overlay an understanding of how much cargo flows through that supply chain. We do modal breakdown assessments so that we know how much product is impacted by each one of the failures that occurs. And then we try to look at the cost associated with each one of those failures so that we can determine where we would get our best return on investment.
And only then do we pull all the stakeholders from the supply chain together and really ask that they act on these facts, that they review these facts and come up with solutions that would result in a measurable change, measurable impact on the problem that we're facing.
And we go beyond that. We look at implementing pilot projects so that we're not just discussing and talking about where potential solutions lie, but we're testing them in a real-world environment so that we know whether or not these solutions actually do result in the measurable change that we seek.
While a lot of our work has focused on commercial solutions, the review of legislation provides a rare opportunity to seek legislative changes that help to improve the level of service and access to equipment for our industry. SPG has provided input to the Canada Transportation Act review, both through Pulse Canada and through a group of Saskatchewan farm organizations. This work is really focused on trying to put more influence back in the hands of growers and with shippers. The work aims to foster competitiveness within the industry, strengthen the level of service provisions, to increase market transparency and information reporting, and to address the needs for future growth of the shipping industry in Western Canada.
As a shipper in this country, you have a right to capacity that allows your company to grow, that allows you to expand your facilities and operations, that allows you to take on new opportunities from the marketplace. Pulse Canada is working with a broad range of stakeholders in the ag industry to ensure that the Canada Transportation Act contains the provisions that allow you to consistently and reliably supply your customers.
In order to bring about positive commercial and regulatory change, we knew we needed solid information about where system breakdowns were occurring. Performance measurement has been a pillar of transportation work since day one. While initially focused on pulses, this performance measurement system now covers virtually all of the grain movement in Western Canada. This work has positioned Pulse Canada as a credible expert in transportation policy and delivers value for Saskatchewan pulse growers.
Whether you subscribe to the philosophy that you can't manage what you can't measure, or tell me how you'll measure me and I'll tell you how I'll behave, the bottom line is performance measurement allows you to understand whether or not you're making the measurable improvements that you seek, and it also helps you hold parties accountable by shining a light on their performance.
Whether we're looking at process improvements implemented by companies or whether we're looking at federal policy measures introduced by the government, it's important to understand whether or not the solutions that we're implementing result in the impact that we're looking for. Have we moved the yardsticks in the right direction?
Having access to that information allows us to put numbers to the stories we hear from companies who are working day in and day out to put the right product in the right place at the right time.
And with that information, we can go to decision makers and demand that they act on the facts when they're considering the range of solutions that are available to them.
Going forward, Pulse Canada will work hard to ensure that there is one national performance measurement system that supports all types of decisions, whether they're commercial solutions, legislative solutions, or investment decisions related to infrastructure.